was Jim. Run away, run away, run away. Took all my old clothes with him. Run away, run away, run away. Whoa, run away, Jim. Whoa, run away, Jim. He was 12 to go when his trip began. Run away, run away, run away. On another highway of old sedan. Tell me where old Jim went. Run away, run away, run away. Cause it took all the money that I saved for rent. Run away, run away, run away. Whoa, run away, Jim. Whoa, run away, Jim. We were 17. Run away, run away, run away. 119 for you and me. Run away, run away, run away. Whoa, run away, Jim. Whoa, run away, Jim. Now I'm gonna go up to the mountain. Run away, run away, run away. Singing for Jim who's swimming in the fountain. Run away, run away, run away. Whoa. To the butcher in the store, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Eva put a stopper at the bottom of the tub, picked up the jar, unscrewed the top, and watched it drop into the water. A little scoop of plaster mixed some coffee grounds and mud, and then she stirred it with a ladle that her grandmother had taught her. Threw in a pot of melted wax, a 4-foot in the hole. Apple core, worms galore, candy, some corrosive. Coconuts and chloroform, some liquor and some corn. Toxic waste, some purple fish she hoped was not explosive. Leave it to the ladle for a taste of her creation, and she knew that what she made would be the finest in the nation. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it. stared up at the mountain and wiped away the beads of sweat that glistened on his brow. His tired feet were buried in the quagmire, and his bloodshot eyes saw all that lay between him and fulfillment of his vow. And he felt his fingers wrap around a knotted root and pull his body upwards to a sea green mossy boulder, and he dragged his weary shit ass up the mountain, and he climbed so slowly, he climbed so slowly ahead. He heard the crack of thunder, and the rocks began to crumble overhead and tumble down the mountain to the dismal swamp that lay beneath the jagged cliffs through which his path had led. And the earth began to quake beneath his feet, and the mighty mountain changed before his eyes, and he stood amidst a sea of dust and rocks and stones cascading down the mountain, and 1,000 birds were headed for the sky. The sacred creed will be yours. If you wait until tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. Dust had cleared, the colonel lifted up his head and was driven to his knees by a blazing beam of light, and he saw the silhouette that stood before him, and he bowed in reverence, trembling in the shadow of the mighty legend's form. Iculus, the prophet, stood before his eyes, looking down on Colonel Foreman, where he shuddered in the puddles and the muck. And he quietly addressed him, and he spoke so slowly. He spoke so slowly, Foreman, I know why you've come here, and I'll help you with your quest to gain the knowledge that you lack. I call upon my faithful friend, the mockingbird, to fly and seize the helping book and bring it to a shack. And the tree of knowledge in your soul will grow, and the helping friendly book will plant the seed. But I warn you that all knowledge, sitting innocent, pure, becomes a deadly weapon in the hands of avarice and greed. Whoa! The sacred greed will be yours. Till tomorrow, the sacred greed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. Okay, now that we're in this beautiful area in Olympia with all the mountains around, and there's a little... As soon as we get this, I'm going to tell you about this song that I'm singing right here, and some of the songs that we already sang before this tonight, so I can clue you guys all in on exactly what's going on. And I know that some people already know about this, but kind of like Jim Page before us, you can think of us as troubadours. And this is from a different place, though. And now that we're in your beautiful northwest over here and the beautiful mountains around, kind of brings us back. And this other place is a place called Gamehenge. And Gamehenge, if I take you back to the beginning, is a beautiful, peaceful land that was inhabited by creatures called the lizards, of course, which we do another song. And these people lived in peace and harmony with nature in this beautiful land with the mountains in the distance and fields and trees, and they were very peaceful people. And their god was a man called Iculus, or guy called Iculus, and he lived on top of the mountain. And he had given them, thousands of years earlier, a book called the Helping Friendly Book. And the Helping Friendly Book contained all the knowledge inherent in the universe, and it helped them govern their way of life in peace and tranquility with the land. Until one day, this guy came, the traveler came to Gamehenge, whose name was Wilson. And that's the second song that we sang, Wilson, I Lay This Hate on You. That song is written by the revolutionaries in Gamehenge who were trying to overthrow Wilson because Wilson had stolen the Helping Friendly Book from these people and hidden it and enslaved them all. Without the book, they couldn't remember really how to do their thing, and they ended up becoming slaves of this tyrant, Wilson, who had taken over. So at this point in time, what I was just singing about in the last song is this guy called Colonel Foreman, who has also come from another land, and he's going to try to help the lizards get the book back so that they can regain control and hopefully go back to living a life of peace with the land. So the way that they've been trying throughout the story to do this a lot of different ways, and it hasn't been working. So what, at this point, Colonel Foreman, who's the hero of this song, has decided that there's only one last hope, and that is to climb up the mountain and see if he can find the great and knowledgeable Iculus. No one has ever seen Iculus before. No one really knows if he exists. He may just exist in the imaginations of the people, but he's going to find out. So he climbs up the top of the mountain, as I just sang about, and as he climbs up, the mountain begins to quake and crumble, the boulders falling down all around him, and the actual mountain turns into the essence of Iculus. His face comes out of the mountain. He's one with the mountain. And Colonel Foreman is looking up at this thing, terrified, and Iculus says, I'm going to help you because I know your cause is good. I'm going to call on my friend, the famous mockingbird. He's going to fly down out of the sky, and I'm going to send him to Wilson's castle, and he's going to go into the castle, steal the Helping Friendly Book, and bring it back to the people of Gamehenge. So at this point in time, here comes the famous mockingbird. Okay, at this point in time, it's been a it's live, but just to okay, he's over here talking, but I want to get Paige to sing one now because I've got a bit of a frog in my throat anyway, right? This song is called Tila. Before we start it, let me just explain a little bit about it. So if you get the idea here, you've got your game henge. You've got Wilson, who's the evil king, the one who enslaved everybody. Iculus lives up on the mountain, or he doesn't really live there. He's a spirit of the mountain. And Tila is sort of the heroine of the story. She is one of the main revolutionaries and one of the leaders of the people who are trying to overthrow Wilson. When Colonel Forbin, who is the hero, and when we go to California, we'll probably have to do Wilson. You guys probably know. Anyway, Tila is sort of the main revolutionary, like I said. When Colonel Forbin makes it to Gamehenge and starts discovering the whole scene, he runs into Tila, and he falls in love with her at first sight. And this is sort of a love song that he sings to her. lullaby the breezes whisper.
Okay, we're going to just keep going right on here if you guys can bear with it. I'm going to do this one other song now, also from the Gamehenge thing. This is going to describe Wilson's Hangman, which is an electronical plug-in robot hangman called the AC/DC bag. He's got the bag over his head, you know, if you picture this robot with a bag over his head. And at this point, Mr. Palmer, who is Wilson's accountant, and has gotten caught being a spy for the revolution, is trying to overthrow Wilson. Wilson catches him, and he's going to have him hung by this hangman, the AC/DC bag. And Wilson sings this song. So here it goes. $1,000 question. Just like Roger, he's a crazy little kid. I've got the time if you've got the inclination. So cheer up, Palmer, you'll soon be dead. The noose is hanging, at least you won't die wondering. Sit up and take notice, tell it like it is. If I were near you, I wouldn't be far from you. I've got a feeling you know what you did. AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, DC bag. Time to put your money where your mouth is. Put them in a field and let them fight it out. I'm running so fast, my feet don't touch the ground. I'm a stranger here, I'm going down. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get the show on the road. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I'm breathing hard, open the door. AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, AC/DC bag, DC bag. Brain dead and made of money, no future at all. Pull down the blinds and run for cover, no future at all. Who would have thought it? That's where I am, no future at all. Don't sweat it, that's where I am. Whoa, carry me down. So you got the AC/DC bag. Now, we're going to go to... I'm going to kind of skip around a little bit. Well, this is basically the last thing that happens in this episode anyway, and there's more to come later, so you'll just have to wait for that. But right now, we've got the end of the thing here. The revolution is taking place. They get the Helping Friendly book, and they decide that they're going to overthrow Wilson. They've got the courage now because they've got the book back. So they've got to find somebody who's going to be able to go and assassinate Wilson, basically. So here's who they find to get it. The Sloth. So there it is. Years pass. Basically what happens is, that's basically it, but what happens after that is that, of course, the head of the revolutionaries, Aaron Wolf, who was with Tila, ends up getting the book in his hands, getting greedy, and taking the place of Wilson and becoming the next evil tyrant. So there we are. And right now, to sum the whole thing up, picture, if you will, out in the middle of a field, there's a shepherd And he's got his meager flock of sheep, and he's trying to live. The whole place has become basically a war-torn, recession-torn, economic disaster. And he's out in the middle of the field here, and we kind of come up to him, and he sings this little poem to sum up where things are. But like I said before, it isn't over yet, and there's more songs. For instance, Llama, if you listen to the words of that tell you about later years of Gamehenge. But this is it for this episode of Gamehenge. So here it becomes McGrupp and the Watchful Hosemasters. I've alternated my meager flock to the shores of the Baltic Sea. The teeth of time have stole the rhyme of how things should be. My cave, my house, my turning wheel, my little docking cup. The march of Colonel Forbin and his fleet hound called McGrupp. Grime of countless work dogs has collected in my sink. I tie my nose with spandex hose before I get a drink. We lie on frozen warthogs with its poison in our minds, while the ferns that spot our children are encased in orange rind. Are the reasons people and their clans have stowed the famous mockingbird with glue and rubber bands. They writhe and cry in agony as Rutherford the Brave chokes Tila and the unit monster managing to save the spotted striker small beast and thereby cheese grave. I'd like to get his autograph, but he looks too much like Dave. He looks too much like Dave. He looks too much like Dave. He looks too much. 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 Trying to make a woman match your mood. I'm sharing in a week apart, you son of a lady. Trying to make a woman match your mood. And I'm sharing in a wing of room. Share. Trying to make a woman match your mood. Share. And I'm sharing in a wing of room. And I'm sharing in a wing of room. Sharing in a wing of room. Whoa, whoa. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, so please don't go away.
comes messenger birds in sight. They came up from the valley, both sides at a time. With the cold, steady rain, rain a bit down. Poking up on the counter, lava to boot, lava to boot to boot. Trigger blast, fast range, like a little receipts, I start to run. It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard, but my time to come. There it is, my press, lava to boot to boot. Leave it on press, lava to boot to boot. Leave it on press, lava to boot to boot. Leave it on press, lava to boot to boot. Leave it on press, lava to boot to boot. Leave it on press, lava to boot to boot. In the bathtub, making soup for the ambassadors, and I'm in the hallway singing to the troubadours, and the kings are all lined up outside the gate, and the autumn bell is ringing, but they'll just have to wait. Where is the Joker? Have you seen him around with his three-cone cap that he wears like a crown? Have you seen his striped stockings and heard his sad tale about the kids under the carpet and the purple humpback whale? Here come the ambassadors, they show up one by one. Brett is tasting all the soup to see if it is done, and Wendy's on the windowsill waiting to be let in. And we're all in the bathtub now, making batch of gin. The kings storm the hallway, they've climbed up through the gate. They didn't mean to be impolite, but they just couldn't wait. Here comes the Joker, with his silly grin. He carries a martini made of bathtub gin. Here comes the Joker. We all must laugh, 'cause we're all in this together, and we love to take a bath.
This young woman is complimenting on my pants because she sewed them for me yesterday.
The squirming coil of sunset I keep within my reach. Tried yesterday to get away and hitchhike to the beach. I saw Satan on the beach trying to catch a ray. He wasn't quite the speed of light, and the squirming coil, it got away. Yeah. It got away. It got away. Yeah. It got away. It got away. Yeah. It got away. Flex the mother's ring. She passes children to her king and sends him down the crooked street. When he returns, the verse complete. Jimmy holds the tennis root, the forest tasty nectar shoot. The sun tips off the monarch suit, from sequin stash to shiny boot. I like to lick the coil someday, like Icarus, who had to pay with melting wax and feathers brown. He tasted it on his way down. Stunned the puppy, burned the whale. Bark and scruff and go to jail. Forge the coin and lick the stamp. Little Jimmy is off to camp. are they serpents bubbled through the ice? The source was quite invisible, the ever-present voice. While skating both legs, tracing different shapes, I made my choice. He's falling on the ice and cracks. Will he plunge in to join me here? It meets my eyes to my surprise. He laughs a full light of my frown. My devil wants to pull me down. My sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. From far away, I'll say your name. Oh, with you, I'll travel thick. And with you, I'll also travel thin. And all the spaces in between, I'll travel with you. You're my sweet one. But now I'm sitting here and ponder and yonder. Her doors laid well, 'cause their food didn't never run. Oh, my sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. Far away, I'll say your name. Oh, if you're ever unsatisfied with the way life's treating you, you know you can count on me to take good care of you. I love you, honey, oh yes I do, you know that's true, of course. And if your dog or cat ever dies, I'll buy you a you. My sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. Far away, I'll say your name. Jesus left Chicago and he headed down to New Orleans. Jesus left Chicago and he headed down to New Orleans. Hey, hey. Working from one end to the other, and all points in between. Took a drive through Mississippi. Muddy water turned to wine. Took a drive through Mississippi. Muddy water turned to wine. Went out to California, through the points and through the pines. person, but he'll see you just the same. Might not see him in person, but he'll see you just the same. Hey, hey. Don't have to worry about nothing, 'cause taking care of business is his name. Chicago, and he headed down to New Orleans. Jesus left Chicago, and he headed down to New Orleans. Working from one end to the other, all points in between. The woman was a dream I had, though rather hard to keep. For when my eyes were watching hers, they closed, and I was still asleep. For when my hand was holding hers, she whispered words and I awoke. And faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. And I awoke, and faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. The place I saw was far beneath the surface of the sea. My was sore, but I was sure the sirens sang their song for me. They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze, and hear their sweet sound bouncing round the never-ending choral maze. The crystal haze, and hear them bouncing round the room, the never-ending choral maze. Then before and now once more I'm bouncing round the room. Once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. Once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time then, once again I'm bouncing round the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. That's how bad, once again I'm bouncing around the room. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Henrietta to the floor?
Hold on. Honey, fun Sunday morning, love you more fun, love in the skyline, baby. Ice cream, excuse me, I see you looking good the other evening. Oh, you didn't get up to smile for an hour, so if we're in love like I think we'll be, it ain't a long rhyme, it took ages to think. I think I'll hurl it in the water, baby. Honey, love you, honey, little honey, funny Sunday morning, love you more funny, love in the skyline, baby. Ice cream, excuse me, seen you looking good the other evening. Oh yeah, that's Paige doing that. Ooh. Ah, ooh. Ooh. Ah. On bass guitar. Boop. Oh, and those fantastic drums. Trey Ernest. Ooh. Bacon, you are a nice little one to put it all around. It's just good, I like it. Hey, 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 suppose sometime that day would be swinging along over across to me. Honey, love you, honey, lip to honey, funny Sunday morning. Love you more funny, love in the skyline, baby. I scream, excuse me, seen you looking good the other evening. I hadn't brought my acoustic tonight. Keeps on rockin' woman, will stay up, he says, little sleepy, we shine so creepy, so whoopee, that's how you look. Honey, love you, honey, little honey, funny, sunny morning, love you more funny, love in the skyline, baby, I scream, excuse me, so you look, honey, honey.
mkII, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from Syracuse, New York. Shortest man in rock and roll. "26 years old, ladies and gentlemen. How about it? Fish will now do a hi-hat solo, not using anything but his hi-hat. There's some funny stories about Fish and his hi-hat. Fish has found himself in a lot of trouble with a lot of different girlfriends because he had dates, and he ended up
getting a little too stoned and ending up in his room with his hi-hat. So we commonly think of Fish's hi-hat as his escape route from reality. If you don't know where Fish is, he's probably in his room with his hi-hat. Fish's hi-hat, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to come to the next gig, we'll introduce you to Fish's Ice Bell.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will say that we have had a genuinely great time tonight. This was a lot of fun, man. You guys are a very attentive audience. The Spoon Man was not kidding when he said that after he came off stage. I think what we want to do, actually, a couple songs. We're going to do this one first. Kind of a quiet one. You guys know this one?
Come from far away and dance all night till break of day. In the Colorado Park, dust down and all the families ready to go. Late in the evening, bouncing down on the hill in above town. Play the fiddle, oh how to ring. Hear it talk, you can hear it sing. Well, played an old tune called Soldier's Joy, and one called the Possible. Prettiest of all, gentle in me, that's where the fiddling began. Late in the evening, bouncing down on the hill above town. Play the fiddle, oh how to ring. Hear it talk, you can hear it sing. that mournful day when all the pen was called away. He hung up his fiddle and hung up his bow, and knew it was time for him to go. Late in the evening, bouncing down on the hill above town. Ben played a fiddle, oh how to ring. Hear it talk, you can hear it sing. Late in the evening, bouncing down on the hill above town. Ben played a fiddle, oh how to ring. Hear it talk, you can hear it sing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice of you. Okay, we're going to do one more song. You guys remember this one? Haven't done this one in a while. We're going way back for this one. Way back.
1903.